Here, the deadline to file now 2 weeks from today. Even if you've already filed, though, it's not too early to start planning ahead for next year. So joining me right now, financial advisor Maggie Johndrow with Johndrow Wealth to talk. First of all, let's talk about some last-minute tax tips. Good to see you again. It's been a while.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you here.
I know it's April Fool's Day, but unfortunately, I can't give you the good news that we're not filing. You have to file your taxes due April 15th. You can certainly file an extension up until October 15th.
But
it doesn't mean you don't pay. It's an extension to file, not an extension to pay. So that's still due the 15th of this month.
Usually you just have to estimate what you're paying, and then you'll sort of make up the difference one way or another once you find out the actual amount, right?
That's correct, yeah. And again, if you can't pay or you're not sure what it is, definitely make some sort of payment.
Yep.
And if you can't pay, still file and contact the IRS. They could put you on a payment plan, because if not, there is interest and penalties.
Yeah.
And that interest compounds daily, so the longer you don't pay, the more you owe.
Okay, and look at some other tips on your screen. I know the first one, double check your information. That seems simple, but I bet you a lot of people make that mistake, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if someone's preparing your taxes for you. I mean, I think working with a professional is fantastic, but people make mistakes. We're all human. And if your social security number isn't correct, your name isn't correct, your direct deposit isn't correct, one, it can result in those IRS penalties I'm mentioning, but two, you might not get your refund, and no one wants that.
All right, file electronically, maybe use direct deposit if you can?
Absolutely. So a lot of people think that mail is safer than electronic just because of all the cybersecurity issues. But if you're practicing good internet hygiene, a really strong password, not saving it somewhere where people can get it, and using two-step authentication, you are protected. I mean, the mail can be lost. People can unfortunately take your mail, right? And there's no repercussion, really. It's hard to find those folks. So electronic is efficient and often safer.
And everybody's looking for those deductions and credits. I suppose it might be easier said than done to find them sometimes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of folks are going to take the standard deduction, but something that every W-2 employee or business owner can take advantage of is putting into your retirement accounts. So you can still put into an individual retirement account or an IRA up until the tax deadline, so the 15th of April, for last year. And if you qualify, that could be an income deduction for you. Other things you might have to plan for more for this year, such as EV credits, solar panel credits, child deduction, medical expense deduction. Those are things that you should be looking out for.
And we've just got a little more time. I want to jump ahead to what you might be able to do with your refund if you get one. Can you give us a couple quick tips or ideas?
Yeah, absolutely. So one, try to build that emergency fund. I usually say it should be 3 to 6 months worth, but at least have 1 month's worth of expenses in an emergency fund and a high yield savings account. Two, you want to pay down that high interest debt. Credit card debt is in the 20s and 30%, so try to pay that down. Three, think about funding some big goals. Maybe it's retirement, a purchase on a home.
Yep.
And last, treat yourself a little bit. I say maybe take 5% of your refund and put it towards something that you wanted.
I like hearing that. It's very practical.
Absolutely.
And honestly, maybe it might help people be a little more responsible with the rest of the money if they're actually dedicating something to themselves.
Yeah, I think it's not an all or nothing. So if you could put a little bit toward yourself and be responsible with the rest, that sounds like a great plan to me.
There you go. Maggie Johndrow, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.